Okay, we are live now. Good evening, everybody. This is Pradeep, Ambassador of Change from GETI, Global Education and Training Institute. And I must express my gratefulness to Dr. Sunita Gandhi for having provided us this format of disruptive education. We've had more than 400 speakers from India and all over the world who have come onto this format to share their ideas with us. And continuing with that, today we have Ms. Buvana R, Principal, Noida International Public School, Noida, UP. She is an optimist who competes with herself to achieve and to evolve in life. She is an MSc in physics from the Madras University, and she has done an MPhil in nuclear physics. And she is an MSc in EE, which is environmental education, and she is pursuing a PhD, a doctorate in physics. She has 23 years experience in school education as a teacher, vice principal and principal in Punjab and Noida. She specializes in school management and implementation of guidelines. And today she will be speaking to us on introduction to online ethics. An introduction to online ethics. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful warm welcome to me. Very good evening to one and all present here. And you know, the internet is a paradise. It is an empower the people, give them opportunity to exercise for the free speech. But the same technology that made the internet visible is also being used to control those rights. So we are going to talk about that only as an introduction of cyber ethic, and it is a very need of our now. Why? Because you know nowadays we are using our internet more. Of course, we are using technology from the beginning, but usage during this pandemic time is increased manyfold. So, what are the ethics and the philosophies? So, we'll throw some light on the topic what is cyber ethics and how we are going to follow about it. It is a standard that distinguish between acceptable and unacceptable behavior in the computer usage, or what do we call as cyber ethics. So usually we learn what is the right and what is the wrong during childhood. Similar way, we are going to learn what is right and what is wrong by using computer or any technology which you are using. So cyber ethic is the study of ethic pertaining to the computer. Of course, it is related to computer, covering user behavior and what computers are programmed to do, and how this affect our individual as an individual and as a society. For many years, various government have enacted regulations while organizations have explained the policies about cyber ethics. But still, we need to know about when we are using the computer. Why we need to know about the thing? Because as I already told you, it keep on increasing. The young children using the internet is manifold now during this pandemic, and we are all forced to take the classes. Being the teacher, we are forced to take the online classes. So you need to know about, as a teacher, as a parent, you should know about what is the cyber ethic and how to implement to our kids, because the young children, they started using computer internet as a just information share, and during that time they will going to involve certain unwanted the practices. So it is very essential then ever to tell the children about how properly to operate the internet, and it is dangerous. It is especially hard to talk to the teens because they don't want to be lectured about what is right and what is wrong. They seem to think they have have it all sorted out themselves. That is why it is very important to instill the appropriate cyber ethics at an early age. Because if you are talking about teens, they may going to not going to accept the concept. So you should talk about from the early age, because we are taking classes for the primary and pre-primary classes nowadays. But you have not there still time to tell your child what is there. So, what are the ethical issue in the cyberspace? The major three main issues which we are facing. One is personal privacy. I'll throw some light on one by one, and the right to access the internet knowledge or ocean of knowledge, and harmful action while using this cyber faces. So this three main ethical issue should know about the thing. In privacy, the IT enable exchange of information on the large scale, enable to increase the potential disclosing information and violating the privacy. So in privacy, copying from others, so they need to be taken care of the thing. And to assess the right, the topic of computer security, assess the right, have moved quickly from being low priority for the corporation to high priority, especially for the government agents as well as the institutions. And harmful actions, it is harm to any of the user, the general public or employees or employers. Harmful action include the internal destruction or modification of the files and program, leading to serious loss of resources, your datas, and unnecessary expenditure of the human resources. So these are the three main ethical issue. So cyber ethic means what is wrong, what is right. You need to differentiate between them. So standard that distinguish between acceptable and as unacceptable behavior. And what are the main cyber ethics? As I told you, privacy, access right, harmful actions. So you need to know about little bit each part, where we are doing, what we are doing. So why this cyber ethic is very important? We have in a everyday life certain things you have to do. If you are not doing, you are going to harm. Similar way, cyber ethic concern to the code of responsible behavior of the internet. Just as we are taught to act responsibly in everyday life, same responsibility behavior you have to show for the internet usage. In many ways, it is aligned with all right behavior in everyday life. So something is not acceptable in everyday life, same it is not acceptable in a computer language also and computer usage also. But the result can be significantly different. Even though it look like the same, but it is entirely different, because cyber crime is closely related to cyber ethics. So if we are not obeying the certain rules and regulation, which is do's and do nots of cyber ethics, it's leading to cyber crime. That cyber crime include that hate crime, it may be telemarketing, internet fraud, identified threat, credit card account threat, so and so, etc. So set of moral principles that regulate use of the computer is very, very, very essential. Okay. So we'll see that the government part, they have created e-government ethics also, which is time and again it is informed to us about computer ethics, cyber ethics, other applied ethics, so and so. So we need to be taken care of all this thing to safeguard from ourselves. You may be seeing some of the major cyber crimes, like how to behave when you're shopping online, whether you are going to obey certain rules and regulation, otherwise how they're going to lead you to put it in a cyber crime. So this internet ethic is for everyone. Internet ethic means acceptable behavior for using internet. We should be honest, respect the rights and property of the others on the internet, framed by the government. So your acceptance and the sensitive matter to the national or local culture while using email and chatting. What are the behavior you have to taken care of the thing, because a lot of fake news are circulating in our social networking site like WhatsApp, Facebook, etc., and pretending to be the someone else. So you sometimes you showing that thing that you are not done. And even in our daily life, if we are always ask you to obey, to avoid bad languages. Similar way in the internet also, you to try to avoid bad languages which is not acceptable by the internet ethic, and hiding personal information. So these are the thing. Being this month October 2020 National Cyber Security Awareness Month, it is already celebrated, so you need to be very careful about the thing. Now let put some summary of this phases, how cyber ethics formed as an uh, separate law in 1915, and why we need to be follow the cyber ethics, that is for, to be known. So in 1950 to 60, the thing, the cyber ethics are generally stand-alone machine. That's all, because not much usage. And your associated issue mostly artificial intelligence and database privacy. But in 1970 and 80, the mini computers and PC interconnected and privately owned networks, so therefore issue the phase one plus concern along with this first period. To the next period, it is about software privacy, computer crime, privacy. That's that and all included in cyber ethics. In 90s, internet and WWW will be introduced. So your issue related to one and two, along with that, how to speak about your speech, anonymity, legal notification of your virtual community, how you are communicating virtually, and that also included as in cyber ethics. Now present to the near future, it's going to cover completely anything related to computer. It may be communication technology, nanotechnology, or anything related to this computer. So issues from 1 to 3 plus concern about artificial electronic agents, but it's also going to internet. So what I want to say here it is that the view of cyber ethics slightly modify into in a different phases. So you need to be aware about this and all, so that you will be going to behave as a responsible citizen of the country. So responsible behavior on the internet. So what are the responsibility as being the teacher, being the parent, being the students, and what we are going to learn and what we are going to teach to our kids. So cyber ethic concern to the code of responsible behavior on the internet, as I said already. Just we are taught to act responsible in everyday life. The responsible behavior on the internet in many ways align with the all right behavior in everyday life. But as I told you, this will result will be significantly different. Now let's throw some light on the copywriting, downloading. So these are the few issues about your cyber ethics. So simple language, you can say what to do, what not to do in computers. That's all. So one of the major issue faced by the cyber ethics is following some issues are increasingly daily due to children using internet. Manyfold it is increases and they are using improperly and we have to take care of. One of the major issues, copywriting, downloading is a major issue because children don't know copyright policies. You know, like we're in mutual fund, subject to market risk. Similar way, the copyright people are written over every content which we are searching. They only try to search what they need from the web and download it without period permission and for their purpose. So this is a major issue. You need to talk to children to explain to them. And the crime and punishment, you know, the children are accessing the internet, so they may be pop up some advertisement, other thing and all. Children do not believe they will get into any real problem by neglecting the use of cyber ethics, because they don't know what to be seen, what not to be seen, and what to be click, what not to be click in the internet. So we need to be educate, teach the children how to behave in the computer, what to be open. It has become very easy to trace the origin of wrong activity over the internet to the individual user. So So this is another major issue we need to be done. Otherwise, they will be in a trouble, and that leading to the cyber crimes, because cyber ethic is closely related to your cyber crimes. And cyber crime is a one nowadays is a branch of complaint which is keep on increasing. In fact, very recently, 63% of the cyber crimes during this pandemic time it is increased because more usage of internet and all. Another major issue related to your cyber ethic is internet hijacking. Hijacking done by stealing classified information. Maybe it is in the form of information stealing, data collection, or stealing password to get into site, which has increased recently. This especially for the credit card usage, other thing and all. And never ever please write your password and all on the same packet where you are keeping your credit card or debit card, whatever information. There, some of the youngsters generally to avoid writing somewhere, so they simply write it on the top itself. So that you are giving access to the cyber crimes. So without permission, since the world is running on the computer, it is important that Isaac to be stopped. So we need to be aware about the thing, and we need to teach our kids to how to be safe from this internet hijacking. Another major teenager, especially girls, are facing this issue is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying increasing, and people are become aware of it and the effect of, especially for children. And it is a bullying that takes place carrying the electronic technology. That's why it is called cyberbullying. It's slightly different from bullying of in a classroom management. That will I will tell the difference between cyberbullying and bullying of the thing. So electronic technology carried by the devices, equipment such as cell phone or computers, tablets, as well as communication tools, including social media site, text messages, website, and chat, all will be comes under cyberbullying. The major this cyberbullying is faced by the school-going kids. So when a child encounters cyberbullying, how they should or what they have to do so that they can be safeguard themselves. Tell, avoid, keep, use means tell a trusted adult and keep telling them until they take action, because most of the time students are not telling to their parents or any nearby relatives or teachers thing. So you keep tell the trusted adult and keep telling them until they take action, otherwise you will be going to be in trouble. And avoid to open, read, respond messages from the cyber bullies. Better to avoid, which is unknown to you, the email or any text messages thing, so which you can avoid. And keep always messaging from police, which is you can they generally used to do, so they maybe need to take the corrective action. Keep avoiding them, and use the software to block bullies if they encounter them through chat or because nowadays in almost all the internet, computer, or in a mobile, Android mobile, or whatever way, the devices which you are using, they have to safeguard parental control also. And there is a digital wellness also there. You can need to be settings to be changed a little bit so that you can easily block them also to avoid this cyberbullying. In your ordinary bullying, you are face to face, you are encountering. That will be happen maybe in minutes or hours, but in cyberbullying 24 hours into 7 days and 365 days will get. This is a major difference. So you need to be very careful about cyberbullying. We can find the safe face or escape, because suppose somebody is facing in directly to you. If you want, you can hide somewhere and you can call someone for help. So, but here in cyber bullying, no safe face. It is hard to escape, because you need to face, you need to open your internet or computers often for your purpose, which you cannot avoid sometimes. Here limited to the onlookers, but here to share the audience, and they may be going to be put it in the internet, so it will be within short time it going to be viral in a matter of second, and that will going to difficult for to the child to face. So bully can be here easily identified because they are face to face, they are interacting. Here, very difficult to bully sometime identification because they may be using different account, they may be using some private account which is not easily traceable. They keep changing the thing. Can the facial and body reaction target an onlooker here? It is hard to emphasize with the target. So these are the major difference between ordinary bullying in your classrooms and cyberbullying thing. So you need to do and do nots for cyber ethics, especially for the school going children. Being as a teacher, as a parents, use the internet to help to do the homework. It can find many information inside the internet, so we cannot avoid using this computer. But don't copy other people work and call it your own. So this is do taking the credit of others author or website or other thing, that will be very dangerous. So copy, cut, paste, certain extent you can use, but beyond certain limit you cannot use the thing. That you need to be known the thing. And music, video, and copywriting, use the internet to learn about music, video, and games, but don't use the internet to download and share this copyrighted material to others and saying to be yours, to pretending to be yours. This do's and do not will going to continue. More main point is ethic is a set of moral principles that I already told you and govern individual, group, what acceptable behavior while using computer. Computer ethics set of moral principle that govern the use of these computers, and government also taking lot of steps about this ethical issue, and then cybercrime cells separately dealing about the thing. Now you all know that cyber laws also entered, so you need to be register your cases. One of the common issue of computer ethics is violation of copyright issues. That is a very important. Duplicating the copyrighted content without author approval, assessing personal information or other, or some of the example that violate the ethical principle. So as I told you, there are so many points about do's and do not in computer. Always assess the file with the permission of the owner. Always respect the copyright laws and policy. As I already told you, now government taken a lot of steps about to put the laws and the policy about cyber ethic and then cyber crimes, because as I already told you, cyber ethic is closely related to cyber crimes. So how you are to behave and what not to be done. So respect the privacy of others also, just as you expect the same from others. Use the internet ethically and don't harm others. Complain about illegal communication activity to parents or teachers. And this is a very important point. Sometimes they don't tell to others. Even mature adult also, when they face cyber fraud or cyber crimes or cyber anything against to your technology, they are not telling to others, because they thought that if you are telling to others, that will be going to be a bad name to us. And that way you are promoting more and more cyber crimes. So complain about illegal communication, because cyber laws are also already created by the government and they have policy to create the thing. And certain laws for, I'll show you at the end. Avoid usage of bad languages, even in the, whether it is internet or in day-to-day life. Hide or avoiding publishing personal information online. This is another way you can save to each and everything to be materialized in your social media, which you can try to avoid. And do not do whatever I told, but what we don't want to do. So don't use computer to snap around and steal other information. Don't use computer to bear the false witness, like a fact which is not right. Don't copy or use the software which is not authorized and not be access to the thing, and you cannot modify also the thing. So which you need to be keep it in mind. The major issue which I already told you, privacy, accuracy, and property accessibility. These four major issues of cyber ethics to the information age which we are living right now. Sometimes the privacy issues related to your loss of control, misuse of your information, taking risk of identify that unwanted insertion everyday life, and for privacy on the internet highly visible, open to violation of privacy, unsecure with a rule, The step to be taken for the privacy laws to ensure the computer-based files and communication, Electronic Communication Privacy Act. You need to be know about the thing, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which you need to be taken care of for the private thing. What about ethical issue in the cyber security? The most predominant. So one is ethics and that issue leading to cyber security also. So what the most common ethical issues in the world of cyber security make IT manager work overtime? Some of the more prominent issues are I'm discussing here. What it means that because sometimes we don't know, being we are a non IT background, sometimes we don't know about the thing, but you need to be take help of IT manager to find out the thing. How, when, where to inform consumer of the pages, to what extent should the be investigated, what are the action to be taken care of the thing. By with the help of IT manager you can work about it even if you don't know the information, and it should be shared with your others also, like student, parents, teachers should know about the thing, how to determine the step to take prevent is very important for the near future to teach our kids, especially the school going kids. So, what are the most prominent ethical issue? As I already told you, when a government agents request to erupt information from your business, what your rights and obligation? What is your responsibility when come to the encrypting information stored within your business? Roles and responsibility. What is the role in your IT department, which I already told you. Being the teacher, being the educationist, what are the cyber ethic we need to be following in educations, especially in education sector? When switching to online school, children have many adjustments to make, including learning how to navigate a virtual classroom. As a parent, you can help your kids to adapt smoothly to distant learning, avoid embarrassment and misunderstanding by preparing them in advance. Use the alphabetical guide below. I'm going to give you one by one what to be teach to your kids, being the teacher and a successful school going students, because more and more students are using internet now, because they are finishing their school years this year from the home. A as an alphabetical order, A is for avoid acronyms. Make your children aware that while they may comfortable with using reading common acronyms such as LOL, laugh out loud, TTYL, talk to you later, not all users are familiar with this application. So this is under simple cyber ethics you need to be followed. You have to teach to your kids. Don't use such a short acronym, common acronym. Help the kids to understand, being clear by spelling things, which will help them to avoid confusion and misunderstanding with their teachers and classmates. So A for avoid acronyms, like I given one or two example. B is for privacy. Explain to student that while participating in a virtual classroom discussion, they should keep their answers short and on topic. Student can also note their opinion answer by using indication found in virtual classroom by clicking I agree button, can get a point access to as well as typing message in the chat box. Means that what to be right and what not to be right in the internet, especially when the online class, virtual classroom platform which you are using to learn, that to be teach to the kids. And C for courtesy is long way in a setting, including online classroom also. It help your children understand that good manners should carry over to online meeting also. It should not be something which you are in a real life you are different and online life you are different. That need to be taken care of the thing. Students should use their real names only, not any pet names and all to be called. Make sure kids know how to raise the virtual hands instead of ma'am shouting, and then the people who are around nearby it, they all going to talking, and the teacher whatever want to teach is not going to reach it. So make them to how to use the virtual hands, and avoid to be recognized when responsible to the question or command. Unless they are not going to ask, they cannot give any command and question. So this basic ethic, whenever we are starting any online mode, we used to ask them to mute your mic, mute your video because of bandwidth issue, and ask the question at the end of the section or the topic. Like that, we need to tell the basic ethics to the students and remind them to address the teacher and other virtual school children in a responsible manner, and when disagreeing, advise the student to avoid using all uppercase letter. This is often considered to be shouting sometimes. So these are the few ethics to be taken care of. C for courtesy, and D is for ditching distraction. Before online school section begin, have your children eliminate environmental distraction that may divert their attention away from the distant learning. And this is a good advice for the parents who are working from home too. And it is clear the room of playful pets or noise siblings. Minimize the background noise by turning off the TV, radio, or anything which is nearby it. Turn off your cell phones because sometimes multitasking during class is very difficult to manage. And remind them not to let microphone broadcast unless they are asked to speak. Otherwise, unnecessarily when they are speaking, it leading to distraction for the teachers as well as the learner. So these are the few D for ditching distractions you need to be followed to your kids. And E for early, it is important that virtual class student to prepare before class. It's not that you came and then you start. No, you need to prepare well in before what you are going to do today, and what to be you are going to be download, what to be shown to others, or what you are going to learn today. So be earlier, be punctual, because whether it is online or offline, waiting for the others to be not a good behavior, responsible manners which you need to be taken care of the thing. So it is important that virtual class students also to be prepared before class. They should download any necessary software and connect test devices like a microphone, video cameras before the lesson begins. Like before I start this meeting also, we should be test before whether my computer will support that particular the apps which is going to be telecast now. So you need to be taken well prepared the thing, because preparation is the one of the very important factor to be remembered, which is applicable for online also as well as offline. Students should also exist other application on the computer period to launching the classroom software. Sometime to unnecessarily opening all the thing will make it your internet will be slowed down. So that should be taken care of the thing. So they should be well prepared that the internet is also working or not. If it is not working, what is the other alternative? I need to be taken care of the thing. So the planning is always needed, whether it is in our virtual classroom, whether it is in our day-to-day classroom. So your cyber ethic is closely related to the ethics which we are following in a day-to-day life. They may be asked so sometimes to don't do certain things in our daily life. Same is applicable. Slight difference, of course, slight difference between these two also. That online ethic or cyber ethics is slightly different from the other, but it may be compared with almost some similarities also there. So we need to be punctual. We need to be prepared before we were starting any classes. So E is for early. And F is for focus and friendship. Remind your kids that although the online school teacher may not be able to see them, you expect them to pay close attention, make sure they don't follow it. Because sometimes what happened, the teachers are taking the class, the audience are disappear because they are not on the video other thing and all. So teacher not able to find out, unless otherwise they asked to open the video and find out whether they are listening or not. So you need to be focused, and then focus on the classroom conversation and activity. For that you need to involve the students in between, and so that you can find out whether the students are in the online or not. Ask them to take the notes of the information which you are presenting, and that is the best way to collecting information from the both side. Ask relevant question to clarify the material cover or assignment given. At the end of this PPT also, we are going to discuss a few questions from the audience side. Not join the sideline chat with the classmates when the teacher is speaking. This is another very important ethics which you need to be the thing. When teachers are taking class or some information you are getting from the internet by seminar or workshop, whatever it is. So you need to be avoid by sideline chat with the classmates or your fellow friends while teacher is speaking, especially for the school kids, that to be taken care of the thing. G for good intention. Encourage your kids to read and interpret virtual classroom messages with the assumption that teachers and classmates have a good intention. So, what purpose we are using this classroom, online virtual classroom? You can also assist them in developing good online communication skill by discussing the misunderstanding and problem that can rise. The students who are not in a good communication in a offline classes, they may be good in here in online classes. So you need to be communicate their skill and discuss if any misunderstanding between the two, and you can encourage them, motivate them to be participated. Explain how, without seeing their facial expression, other people may not know when they are kidding or being scared. Because here one problem we're going to see, we were face to face when you are talking or communicating each other, you can easily identify their expression for so that whether they are like your conversation, they don't like the conversation, whether they appreciate your conversation, they can express the thing in a facial way. But in virtual, it is little difficult to find out whether they agree or not. They may be going to be moody, like a cyberbullying and all. So they may be going to be not verbally to communicate to you. So best way to always use for good intention only. So encourage your kids to be used that way. And suggest the kids rewrite their own messages for the friendliness and respect for sending. So always ask your kids reread their any messages which they are going to send to their friends or colleagues for the friendliness and respect for sending. Before sending, please go through once. Advise them that what seems like a short or appropriate answer from the classmate or teacher, probably they don't mean anger, other person may just be busy. For example, if we are saying to the kids, kids are saying good morning and the teachers are not giving response, it doesn't mean that she's not don't want to talk to you or she's angry. Maybe she's not heard about this your greetings, and they may be missed by the noise, or they may be due to internet connectivity not able to hear. So you need to be advise them to how to behave in such kind of thing in a virtual classrooms. So that is one of the ethics you need to be following in a computer or technology which you are using. That will be taken care of the thing. Caution them against the feeling of online and slipping into mean or tone, revealing too much personal information. No need to share here openly, because this and all going to record it. So you need to be very, very careful. Even if you are deleting from your site, it all goes to the internet server, where it can be retraced or taken away after many days, many months and all. So that need to be very, very, very careful. Caution against their feeling of anonymity online, or splitting them. You are scolding them using bad language, whatever it is. You are mocking tone, everything which will be too personal information. No need to share. That to be taken care of the thing. Keeping in mind that you may need to review this information. As I already told you, you have to keep in mind whatever information you are going to send it through this computer or technology. Review this information, as well as when they are being working online more than once, particularly if the children are young, energetic, although may seem to be lot to be remembered, but many of these rules are simply electronic version of traditional classroom expectations, which I already told you. So this and all same as your everyday life which you are following, and but slightly different because it is in related to technology, related to computer. Within a few weeks, this pointer will be second nature to your children. So because they are also used into the thing, you may see the difference when you are teaching in the month of April 2020. Now you are teaching to kids to 2020. They improve a lot. So you need to be constantly motivating, constantly to reminding them about the cyber ethics in the new way of communicating with the teachers and classmates. And before going to end this thing, few more points I would like to share. The government taking positive role in making resources for the parents as well as children to learn about cyber responsible ethics. Because this is a growing problem. Without parents and teachers using the resources available cannot be done to future generation of internet usage being the safe online. As I already discussed, certain major issues uh, to be taken care of the thing. But apart from that, we need to be cyber ethic ourselves. The behavior of internet, cyber ethic concern is a code of responsible behavior on the internet. So we need to be taken care of this again and again. Just we are taught to responsible in everyday life. Same way we need to be behave. Thing. So some people try to hide behind the false sense of information to the internet, believing that it does not matter if they behave badly online because nobody going to take any action, because this is a tendency of some of the people using internet. So because no one knows who they are or how to search them, that is not all time the route. So browser, computer, internet service provider may keep log of their activity, which can be used to spot illegal inappropriate behavior. So you cannot hide anything because some people try to hide behind the for, so nobody going to find out. They may be thought, but it is easily accessible. As I already told you, it is all going to save. Even if you are deleting the messages, even you are omitting the messages, it will all go into the web server. Anytime we can retrace, and that is very very important to tell to our kids. You cannot hide certain things to anyone, especially from the elders. So that is not all trying to be true. Browser, computer, internet service provider, I already told you, may keep logging their activities. So it may be leading to cyber crime also. So we need to be taken care of this thing. Even though young children are using internet, is keep on increasing. um, so this is the major issues which we need to be think. Even though I'm not completed all the alphabetic because it takes time to complete a few issues which I told you to taken care of this cyber ethics. The basic ethic of cyber ethic is mute your mic, mute your video unless they ask you to be, and then ask your question and end of the thing. And same behavior you need to be asked to tell your kids again and again, because as it is essential to tell to children, because it is very dangerous for them to be put it in this mode. It is especially hard to talk the people who are not understand this thing. So we need to be teach this cyber ethics to very very young age, early age. It no need to be wait to talk to only for the teenagers and behavior to be responsible behavior only for the teenager or only for adult. Of course, they need to be known, but you have to start at the young age how to behave in computer or any internet in which they are going to use the thing. So with this note, I will end my presentation by saying thank you for this wonderful opportunity given to me through the GIFts Foundation and the Pradeep sir who introduced me here. And thank you so much. Now, if you have any questions, sir, over to you. You can ask me the question so that I can
No,
able to
ma'am.
give the answer. Is there any questions?
No, ma'am. I think you made things very clear. I think you made things very clear. And I basically had a question about, how to control the misbehavior when you're having normal e-classes. I think you've answered that altogether. But
Cyberbullying.
if such behavior, if such behavior is caught out, uh, what should be done with the student who has indulged in this particular misbehavior?
First, we need to be counsel them because they may be don't know this is also as an cyberbullying is also or this is also crime. So we need to be counsel first, and we need to teach them what to do, what not to do first. After that, after twice or thrice they keep on repeating, then you have to take the action. So counseling is the best way to be tackle this problem.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So once again, we thank Dr. Sunita Gandhi for this wonderful platform of disruptive education he has provided to us, where
Yes.
we can meet such luminaries as Ms. Buvana, and we thank Bhuna madam for having come and spoken to us today. And it's been a great pleasure being with you, ma'am. And
Thank you.
on your introduction to online ethics, I think it was not just an introduction. I think it was a pretty in-depth study in what to do and what not to do in online ethics, involving the teachers, involving the students. So thank you, ma'am, for a very, very in-depth talk. And everybody, good evening and good night.
Thank you so much once again. I'm leaving.